Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch and Sega Saturn. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with DamonSwitch. Unfortunately, we all kind of knew this was coming and, well, now it's arrived. DamonSwitch has officially hit the Google Play Store, and it looks like 100 plus unsuspecting victims have downloaded it. In my opinion, it's bad enough that this emulator actually exists, and it's even worse that it actually hit the Google Play Store. And this is the official DamonSwitch Switch emulator. If you click on the developer here, it's the same people behind the Damon PS2 emulator, another emulator that I don't recommend at all. Now, even more unsurprising and flat out disappointing, they didn't even design their own logo for this app, they stole that as well. This is Yuzu's logo. This app does contain ads, and it's also got in-app purchases, so they are making money on pretty much anyone who's downloading it. If we take a look at more information about this app, it says it's version 0.9.53. I've got no idea about previous versions in existence on the Google Play Store. It does say it was updated on October 21st, 2022, which at that time it wasn't even public. I mean, just a few months back we talked about DamonSwitch hitting the Google Play Store, but at that time it wasn't listed on the Google Play Store. I've got no idea what's going on with this app, but I can say I don't recommend trying it out at all. I don't recommend this app. On a side note, and possibly a little bit of fun, if you head on over to the community tab on this YouTube page, you'll see I've got a poll up and running. It asks, which emulator will The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom work best with first? I've got 3 emulators listed, Yuzu, Ryujinx, and Skyline. People have asked me, what about EggNS, and what about now DamonSwitch? Well, EggNS needs source code from Yuzu and Ryujinx in order to work, so it can't beat either of those, it's technically impossible. And DamonSwitch, I don't even want to get into that, it's going to need source code as well. But moving on from that, and still talking about Switch emulation, but legit Switch emulation with Yuzu, and the paid testing early access version of Yuzu just got a brand new update, version 3381. If you're a fan of Metroid Prime Remastered, it appears they are working on some fixes here to stop the game from crashing. And moving on from that, and still talking about Switch emulation, but talking about Ryujinx, and Ryujinx got a number of updates here that help out different games. 2 updates help out Metroid Prime Remastered, version 1.1.614 and version 1.1.615. 614 fixes a crash using Vulkan, and 615 fixes some broken lighting and fog. Version 616 here allows Kingdom Rush to boot. For those of you who may be wondering, you've really got 3 choices for Switch emulation. For Switch emulation on PC, you've got Yuzu and Ryujinx. And if you don't know which one to use, I recommend checking out both and seeing which one works for you. And for Switch emulation on Android, there's really just one option, and that is Skyline. It's free and open source. And speaking about free and open source, last up here we're talking about Sega Saturn emulation with Kronos, and after about a year we've got a brand new version of Kronos. Version 2.5.0 has just released. There's some bug fixes, improvements, and better support overall. If you wanted to see this one in action, I'll drop a link to this YouTube video in the description below, and I do highly recommend checking it out. Kronos is free and open source. As a bonus piece of news here, if you're a fan of NES emulation, FCEUX just got a brand new update after about a year. The last update was back in March of 2022, and we've got version 2.6.5 that is just released. This one has a whole bunch of bug fixes that have been updated and called out over the year. And as a bonus piece of news, really last up here, we're talking about Fightstick Friday, and there are a couple of builds I wanted to highlight. This one here is awesome. It's inspired by Batman the Animated Series. It's an all-button controller. The shell on this one is completely handmade, and I think it was put together and executed extremely well. I think this is a sharp-looking all-button controller. And then we've got something completely wild, something I haven't quite seen executed like this before. The caption says, do you prefer a stick, hitbox, or mixbox? If your answer is yes, then this is the stick for you. It is completely modular and you don't need wiring on it. If you wanted to change your layout on the fly, you absolutely can. They're not even disconnecting this thing here. It's still plugged in. They're swapping out parts, and it is still working. It's super easy to change layouts on this, and I am very impressed. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below, and feel free to check out the poll in the community tab. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.